The Wizard Liz, a self-improvement content creator, just got cheated on by her husband, Landon Nickerson, whilst being 4 months pregnant. And since then, a lot of stuff has happened on both sides, so in this video, we're gonna go over it all. But before that, be sure to subscribe to the channel because I'm watching you. Yeah, that's right, I'm bloody watching you. And I can see what you're doing. And if you don't subscribe, oh, why I oughta... You know what I'm gonna do? Nothing. Realistically, nothing, because, like, I mean, there's nothing I can do, but it would be nice. So, make of that what you will. Anyway, let's establish these characters first before we get into the thick of this story. So, with over 20 million views, this is the Wizard Liz's most popular piece of content from the last few months.
Oh my god, I was gonna do this for you. Oh my god, I was going to... Shut up. You didn't do anything. Literally. Shut up. Don't talk to me.
I know it's only 10 seconds, but it does sort of sum up a lot of the reason why Wizard Liz is so popular and the type of audience that she has fostered, right? She's very blunt, and a lot of the advice that she gives is specifically designed for people pleasers or people who feel as though they are stuck in a situation that they want to get out of. It's this YouTube channel, however, that she's most popular for with over 8 million subscribers. I had a wee gander at the channel. I watched a couple of the videos in full, a lot of the latest ones, a lot of the most popular ones, because I wanted to get a good feel at the content that she sort of made, and I can confidently say that I don't think it's my cup of tea necessarily, but that being said, it's very obvious that the demographic being aimed at here is not people like me, so that's not necessarily a critique, if that makes sense. And even though the videos weren't aimed for me, there was a lot of stuff that she was saying that I do really agree with, and a lot of genuinely good advice there. Obviously, there was a lot of stuff that I disagreed with, and stuff that I considered to be bad advice, but you know what, ultimately, that's not really relevant for this video. All I want to say is that I can definitely see why she has become so popular and garnered such an audience. You know, the majority of the videos' purpose is to allow you to become more confident, right? That is like the main goal of this channel, and I think that all in all, she does a pretty decent job in it for a lot of people. It's also very obvious that she has a very troubled past, if that makes sense, and a lot of trauma that she's had to work through, which will become, I guess, relevant for what we're about to talk about. Now, her husband also has a YouTube channel where he posts what looks to be one Fortnite video every year. I don't understand the appeal of this one as much, to be honest with you, and, well, it seems as though neither does the audience because it doesn't get nearly as many views. Although, this one has 3.5 million, so I guess he knows what he's doing to some extent. I didn't have as much of a gander through this channel. I couldn't sit through these videos, to be honest with you, but that's a basic, very basic overview of who these two are. Here's another crazy popular TikTok of the two together. It's like a glow-up sort of video, so that's him there, and then that's him later on with her. He looks a little bit like that kid from Superbad, if any of you know what I'm talking about. Not McLovin or the Jonah Hill character, but the other guy. Yeah, it looks as though he's known as the one who had 1 million V-Bucks. Imagine that being your claim to fame, man.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm the guy who with 1 million V-Bucks. What of it?
Here's another video of the two together when they were still dating, and it appeared to be a very happy marriage.
Babe.
Yeah, baby.
Come.
What's up?
I want to film a TikTok.
Okay, what are we doing?
So, I have to introduce to you guys
yeah.
my current husband. So we met
What is you?
in...
Wait, your current husband?
Yes. So...
Okay.
Are you gonna keep interrupting me?
Your current husband?
Yes.
No, baby. No, I'm your forever husband.
Oh, well, isn't that just bloody adorable? I'm almost fucking creaming myself right now, just how fucking cute this is. That's very cynical of me, to be fair. The only reason I'm angry is because I read a comment being like, Landon is so logical and so golden retriever coded. I personally just don't like the description of golden retriever coded, because I've been called that before by people who are like, you're like a golden retriever. But in my opinion, it always sounds as though they're just calling me a dumbass. Like, whenever I get called golden retriever by someone in my life, I feel like they're calling me an idiot. I love this. You can see the comments like before the news of the cheating came down. No, baby, I'm your forever husband with 41k likes. People fucking loved this relationship, it seems like. But now, when you go to the top of the comment section, it's just full of, this man studied Liz, stalked her, faked his values to match up with hers, and baby trapped her. He wanted to take a woman like her down. This filled his ego. He's a crazy narcissist who was always after to destroy her. This little man never loved her once. Now, those are some pretty big fucking accusations there, so let's see just how true they are by going into the actual cheating now. The news broke on the Wizard Liz's Instagram story where she made it public that she was just cheated on by Landon Nickerson. How are you gonna spend close to 1 million on me, refuse to be more than a week without me, and refuse to go long distance until we get our visa stuff done because you want to be attached to my hip, make me get rid of my apartment, move in with you all over the world, staying in Airbnbs whilst we wait for the visa process, cuddled to sleep together 4 days ago, messaged me on the plane how much you miss me and so excited to build our family, to then the day you land decide to cheat on Snapchat. Fucking Snapchat. I've got a thing on this channel that a lot of you ladies have noticed that I just fucking despise chap chat. Jesus, I hate it so much that I can't even fucking talk properly. I despise Snapchat so much that you guys are starting to clock on to my almost irrational fear of the platform and the people who use it regularly. I've said it before, Snapchat is for weed dealers, year 8s, and wrong'uns. I've also said this before, obviously I'm joking. Don't take it seriously. You can use Snapchat if you want. Although, to be fair, it's not getting the best it's not getting the best PR from this story here. The girl was a long-time follower and fan of my content, and she told you no multiple times. Can't even cheat because she didn't want you. Oh, Lord. I mean, that is fucking pathetic. Not only are you cheating on your wife, but you're cheating on your wife with somebody who is a fan of your wife, a long-time follower of her content, and they weren't even interested in you. So it's not as though someone came onto you and you just didn't have the willpower to say no. No. You willingly went out and searched for somebody and then went onto them knowing they were a follower of your wife's content. Not that if somebody comes onto you, it makes the cheating any less, like, bad, but I guess it's more understandable in a way. That's purely for lack of a better way of describing it. It would make more sense to me personally if that's how it went down. I'm actually fucking furious. I can't eat, haven't slept the last 2 nights, and this dude also has my cats and clothes in our apartment I was about to move into this month, and for the ones thinking I was suspicious of any behavior of cheating, absolutely not. If I tell you how shocked I am, how the fuck do you stalk my content for years and not think I'm gonna leave if you cheat, you dumbass? I think he knew that if you found out he was cheating, you would have left, but he probably just didn't think that you would find out he was cheating, because if he did think that, why the fuck would... If he knew you'd find out, he probably wouldn't have done it, to be honest with you, because the success rate is literally 0% if this is the only time he tried to cheat, which, honestly, we don't know. Like, this could be the only time that he got called out on it. Maybe he's been doing it on the sly throughout your entire relationship. The problem is, we don't know now, because he's confirmed himself to be a cheater, and he was cheating on you with somebody who clearly wasn't even interested in him. What's to say that if someone was interested in him, the whole process would have been way more smooth, if that makes sense? How the fuck do you make that video Q&A with me and decide great time to try and cheat? Yeah, so this was right after a Q&A with my husband video on Wizard Liz's channel came out, which we will be looking at later, because a lot of people have been pointing out potential red flags that come in that video. Like, Landon says a lot of things that a lot of people have taken to mean, like, ooh, we should have seen this coming, man. Which I have some thoughts on, but we'll talk about that when we get to the video. The girl sent me a voice note saying, I always thought he was weird and never wanted him, so I was shocked when I saw that he got engaged to you because I was a long-time fan of your content. Most embarrassing thing is you get rejected whilst trying to cheat. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel bad for the guy, but imagine how humiliated he must be right now. Go into, like, your parents who are gonna find out about this shit. If he has any siblings, it's done for him. If he has any friends, it's done for him. Nieces, nephews, anyone, it's done for him either way, because he's got an audience of millions of people who are going to chastise him for the rest of his fucking life on the internet. When someone is this publicly embarrassed and humiliated, normally, I would feel sorry for them. But in this case, I don't know, I don't really care. Like, you cannot be fucking doing that to your wife who's 4 months pregnant and not expect anything in return. You deserve to be shamed publicly, in my opinion. I talk about cheating in my Handsome Fella video a while back, and I was a little bit more, like, wishy-washy on the validity of the crash out, because the relationship was only like a month long, which doesn't make cheating good by any means. It's still bad no matter what point in the relationship that you're in. But I think that this crash out here publicly, whilst it might not be the best move from a, I don't know, like a level of, is this really going to be great for me? When I look back at how I treated the situation in 10 years, will I be happy with how I crashed out on Instagram? Who knows what she feels about all this, but either which way, I understand why she's doing it. Like, this is a valid crash out. You know what I mean? It's just something that I personally could never see myself doing, no matter how much I was wronged by my potential partner. But then again, man, maybe if something like that did happen to me, I would be so overcome with emotion that I do end up doing something like this. You just never really know. And I'm not even saying that this was a bad move. That's all on her. If anything, I kind of rate it. Like, a lot of people say be the bigger person, don't get revenge, but in some instances, I'm kind of a fan of revenge. I'm not sure what that says about me as a person, but I mean, there you have it. Bro writes me a whole book about 26 reasons he loves me for 3 hours on the 21st of May, my birthday, pays 100k to develop an app for me as a surprise. Bro, how you gonna fumble your own investment like that? How stupid. Men are so easily controlled by their lust. Bro, and love bombing stops at a certain point, right? How are you gonna love bomb me for almost a year and then call our relationship fake? Bro, you is fake. Your stupid ass apology videos saying, don't give us the evil eye when I try to repair this. You are the evil eye, the fuck? Yeah, that apology video is fucking insane, by the way. Well, obviously we will talk about it later on in this video, but be prepared for that because it is hilarious. I should have listened to my followers from the get-go. They kept telling me something's off about him. My followers show more loyalty to me than my own man. The girl told him in the messages, you shouldn't be messaging me whilst in a relationship. Why the fuck is she having to teach you, grown-ass man about to be a father like a little child on Snap? I think it's funny that Landon Nickerson is one of the few men who has failed at being a father before his baby was even born. And at your big age using Snapchat as well. Fuck me. Get off Snapchat, you silly twat. And why are you messaging fans of your wife on Snapchat as well? I think messaging, like, your own fans is a bit parasocial and weird if it's in that way. Let alone a fan of your wife's. Like, in what world did you think this would ever work? I don't know what's more shocking to me. The fucking blatant narcissism, horrible morals of this bloke, or the sheer stupidity of thinking that he would ever get away with this. So we only got a screenshot of this story just now, but here was like the 3-second video of her quickly flipping through the book that he made to show her how much he loves her, which can be perceived as love bombing now, which I don't blame her for perceiving it as love bombing, considering that, you know, he fucking cheated on her with a fan of hers on Snapchat, no less. She's handling this like a teenager, not a grown woman. She brings a brother vibe to the table and we all loathe it. What do you mean we all loathe it? Why is this fucking comment section so negative? This one person's commented so many negative comments. This is embarrassing and immature. Why is this fucking comment Oh, it's a Wizard Liz snark page. Yeah, I mean, you can't really get a better answer than that. That fucking explains it, doesn't it? These people have no lives. No lives. No one who is a regular poster on a snark Reddit page has a life. I'm sorry if that makes you sad, whatever snark posters are listening to this video right now. Get a job, man. I understand how ironic that is as a commentary channel saying that, but I feel like a lot of these snark Reddit pages, we looked at one in the Matt and Abby video, it's like, they will look into the smallest details and try to perceive and conjure up a story about the beginnings of the fucking planet being born from it. Like they will look at the eyelids of an influencer that they don't like and go, ooh, the way that the eyelid flickered 2.5 seconds into the crystallization of the molecular structure of this video clearly displays that they despise this minority group and say this slur 7 times a week. I mean, even in this comment section alone, people are like, oh, she's handling this like a child. Why is she not being mature about it? It's like, she's 4 months pregnant and she was just cheated on by this massive fucking influencer who was trying to get with one of her own fans on fucking Snapchat. And it's not just the fact that she's about to have a baby, but also when you're pregnant, the hormones that are going off, the feelings that she must be feeling. I can definitely understand why she is crashing out this badly on social media. It's one thing to think that this is not a mature way to handle the situation. That's fine if you think that. But to say that you cannot even understand a little bit to how she got to this point is ridiculous to me. Now, a lot of these stories were deleted because as much as I understand why she was crashing out this publicly, I'm sure even she was a little bit maybe had second thoughts about just how much good this would do her. So a lot of the stories were deleted. Unfortunately, you know, they get saved very quickly, especially in a situation like this one. But this one in particular, she deleted really quickly. It's her responding to a DM that she got saying to keep it private. No, Thomas, dumbass, listen to me. Stop fucking telling victims how they should react to abuse. Start holding men accountable if you don't want to keep crying about the male loneliness epidemic. He made this a public matter when he tried to meet up with one of my fans. I mean, yeah, on one hand, it's like, if your husband is trying to meet up with one of your fans, it might become some sort of like, some people may come to the conclusion that you're almost encouraging it or have knowledge of the fact that your man is like doing this shit to your fans. So it makes sense that you would want to make it clear, hey, I don't endorse this at all. I didn't know about it. He's a fucking knob and I'm no longer with him because he cheated on us. He can go back to making his $1 million V-Buck videos or whatever once a year. Funny how my intuition was screaming at me in this video. Thank God for what I found out today. I've been through worse in life. This will definitely not break me. Women, choose yourself and walk away from the first time. That's facts. I'm a strong believer in not staying with someone after they cheated on you. Obviously, there are some situations where I guess some people are a bit more accepting of that, and maybe it can work out if they both know each other really well and it was a really big mistake and they've genuinely shown that they are capable and willing to change and really regret the decision. I guess all I'm saying is that it's not impossible for situations where one person has cheated in the relationship to work out. I'm sure those do exist and have worked out fine. But I would say 99% of the time, when someone cheats, they're showing you who they are and they are likely to not be the greatest partner. So in most cases, I would recommend that you leave and find someone better. because you can definitely find someone who won't cheat on you. I will never ever create a fake narrative for social media. I will not preach something and not take the advice myself. Landon decided to make a Snapchat account and reach out to a girl to meet up. He was just with me in London, made a whole book about how much he loves me. Anyways, the girl reached out to me and my old friend today, showed us evidence. He called the relationship fake. Meanwhile, my cat's with him in Dallas. All my stuff is there, our apartment, and oh, I'm 4 months pregnant. So it looks to me as though the guy got fucking blue balls or something because his wife was in a different country. He had all the cats or whatever. She was 4 months pregnant, so maybe he's not exactly getting the sex that he wants, perhaps, if they're not. Here's the thing, it's not my business. I'm just trying to figure out why he exactly did what he did. But ultimately, I feel wrong even trying to explain it because there is no justification for it, if that makes sense. Like, trying to rationalize why he did it almost lends legitimacy to the decision that he made, which I don't want to do. He's a fucking failure. He's a failure of a man. And a failure of a father before the kid was even born, which is almost impressive, to be fair. He says he's incredibly sorry, but honestly, I feel like I didn't know him at all. I feel stupid for ignoring the signs and dreams I had that I even told him about, and he told me I was crazy. Listen to your intuition, women. Men want to lead the world, but can't even control their lust. It's a weak man. It's weak. A man that can't control his lust will never be able to lead. I'm absolutely heartbroken and shocked. My haters can go celebrate. Haha, so funny. I will always have the last laugh, though. He lost everything, and I gained everything. Thank God. I do hope that she is taking it as well as she is putting out online, talking about how she's gained everything. She's put out some TikToks being like, there's no point crying about someone who doesn't give you anything, which I do hope she has that mentality in real life, and it's not just her faking it for the camera or for her audience. Like, obviously, she's going to be going through a rough time right now, but I hope she's dealing with it as well as she can, if that makes sense, especially because there's a new baby about to be introduced to the world that won't have a father around, if that makes sense. I mean, maybe he'll be about every now and then, but they won't be living together. They'll be split at the very least. He has lost a lot, though, because now, for the rest of his life, everyone will know that he was a cheater and that he cheated on his fucking insanely famous 8 million subscriber girlfriend, wife even, whilst she was 4 months pregnant on Snapchat once again. He's no longer going to be known as the million V-Bucks guy. He's going to be known as the weak prick who couldn't fucking control his dick. He let his knob control his mind and, I guess, fucking manipulate him into texting people on Snapchat. It's just embarrassing, man. Like, just saying it out loud is fucking embarrassing. So here's the actual Q&A video, Q&A with my husband that we'll watch for now. We're not going to watch the whole thing, obviously, but some people have been pointing out some potential red flags that they should have seen coming, if that makes sense.
A great message. It's honestly a toxic message, this thing I've seen people saying of like, oh, you can never trust a man, like never trust your husband, like he may just cheat on you, you never know. It's like, at the end of the day, the man and the woman have to be trusting each other and taking that is what builds a good relationship. It is a foundation of trust. And so if both sides are like too edgy and thinking like, oh, I can't trust each other, like one another, then that won't work. Best for yourself, but not selfishly.
Man's fighting ghosts here, and it is very suspicious. Obviously, in hindsight, it's suspicious. No one can say, I knew he was cheating. It was so obvious that he was a cheater. And it's like, well, how did you know? Because he cheated on her and we all know it. Well, obviously, now that we know on Snapchat that he was a cheater, yes, it's a lot more obvious, but from this video, whilst it's a little suspicious in hindsight, you could not have told the entire fucking situation just from this, when even she didn't fucking know. Like, maybe you could have a bad vibe, maybe, from the fucking bloke, because he does seem like a bit of a weirdo, but you wouldn't have known. Like, there's no way to know. Unless you're the lassie he was trying to, like, slide into the DMs of, you'll never really know, as an outsider. But yeah, again, he's fighting ghosts here. Obviously, the phrase, don't trust a man, exists, but when people say it, no one is actually meaning like there is not a single bloke on the planet who you could even interact with. It's hyperbole. It's hyperbole for the sake of a point that people are trying to make. Like, it's not an actual literal thing that you're meant to take literally. At least that's my understanding of it. But like, yeah, obviously, if you're in a relationship with someone, you should both trust each other. It's like the most important part of any fucking relationship, really. If you don't trust the person that you're with, you might as well not be in that relationship. It's that simple. It's like trying to win a race against Usain Bolt with no fucking legs. Like, it's just not gonna happen. And obviously, now that we know what he's done, him saying that is, oh my, it's horrific. Like, it's genuinely fucking horrific. He was probably messaging the fucking gal as he was recording this. Obviously not like on the phone message, but you know what I mean? Like, in the vicinity of time, he was messaging her. He was making this fucking video with his wife. All this fucking, spiritual, but just shut up, man. Shut up, you're such a mug.
Intimacy is so important in a relationship.
Yeah. But I'm the kind of person, even when I grew up with my parents, we never hugged at home. I never even heard I love you or something from my parents. Like, first time I ever heard that from my mom was when I was like
14 and I told her I was getting a psychiatrist at school because, you know, what was happening at home, they caught wind of it and they were assigning me a psychiatrist. So then
people are pointing out that he laughs when she mentions that she had to get a psychiatrist. And when I'm watching it, I guess maybe you could call it like uncomfortable laughter. There was nothing to, I just don't know what spurred it on. It was like just a completely unwarranted response to something that made no sense, really. And yeah, in hindsight, once again, it looks bad, but it's not something that you could watch as it was happening and go, he's cheating him, unless you're like a prophet.
Forgive and work through that. Otherwise, that'll just turn into crippling insecurity that you suffer with.
Depends what the trust issue was. If the person is like texting other people.
Yeah, well, there's different like degrees of severity for sure. But yeah, I think a lot of issues can be boiled down to, is this something I need to work on to fix that will help my relationship?
This video is literally like saying fucking 1 + 1 is 1, water is wet, the sky is blue, and radiators are hot when you turn the heat on. But actually, when you turn the heat off and wait a couple hours, the radiators are actually quite cold because the heat isn't on anymore. It's the most fucking obvious bullshit in the world. When you're traumatized from a past relationship, you actually need to work on that and not go into the next one with that trauma. Yes, fucking obviously! What is this video, man? I can make like 50 billion videos on this like fake deep bollocks that a lot of these people splurt, like just regurgitate on the daily. They have like whole careers based on this shit, and it's a shame because there are a lot of people on the internet who do actually say some really meaningful things. Landon Nickerson is not one of those people. And you know what? The Wizard Liz is kind of one of those people. Obviously not all the time. There's a lot of stuff that she said that I disagreed with and didn't really like, but I did watch through a lot of her videos, and there was a lot of stuff that I actually really liked as well. I don't think Landon has ever said anything that I agreed with that wasn't inherently obvious and instilled within all of us already. And when she's sat there talking about like, yeah, texting other people is like a level of severity, there's like different levels to cheating or whatever, I kind of do believe her now when she says that there was like a little bit of intuition there, like she had some sort of bad feeling, because it just seems like a little bit too much of a coincidence for her to say something like that mere days before the cheating becomes public. Maybe it is just an accident, Bob Ross style, but not a happy one this time. A really depressing one. Thank you to Peyton for showing me early on what kind of man he is. Bless you, and may God give you everything you want and more in this life. I'm gonna sell my engagement ring around 100k and donate the money to single mums. More power to women. Amen. Nothing I can really say to that. I think that's a fucking good move. Like, yeah, I like that. Good for her. Since the ring has no sentimental value to you anymore, you're taking a situation that must have been awful for you and you're making something good out of it. So, yeah, good on you, pal. Alright, here is the stories that Landon posted on his Instagram story that he very quickly deleted for very good reason, because no one was gonna buy this shit. If I were him, I wouldn't have responded, because there's nothing you can really say. I would have just quietly swept it under the rug to the best extent that I could and just carried on with your content. Although that doesn't exactly look like it was working out for you either. I mean, if he had 100k to spend on an engagement ring, he's clearly doing okay financially. But anyway, maybe he will justify himself. Maybe there's a good reason behind it. No. You see, I had a bag over my head and I was surrounded by 10 terrorists who were forcing me to text this random lassie on Snapchat, because if I didn't do it, they were gonna murder my entire family. And you know what? If he says something along them lines, I feel as though it would be appropriate to forgive him, you know? So maybe he'll come up with something like that. So who knows? Let's have a watch, because maybe I'm judging him too quickly.
I think all the people telling me to kill myself and whatever for this thing that I am acknowledging is wrong.
Off the bat, immediate fucking introduction of, for the people telling me to kill myself, these mean messages I'm getting, I fucking hate when people do this after they've been called out for something. If you want to mention it later on, be like, oh, don't threaten my family. They always say shit like that, like, oh, it's one thing to message me, but when my family get messages, that is just something I will not stand for. They do not deserve that. It's like, yes, it's really, there is a conversation to be had about collateral damage caused by someone's bad actions on the internet, even to yourself. Like, you cannot be sending like horrible messages to someone, even if they cheated on someone, telling them to kill themselves and shit. Obviously, that's a bad thing, but he's just using that as like a method to garner sympathy here, like a lot of influencers do when they're called out on something. If there is someone who hasn't done anything wrong or thinks there is a way to justify their actions and make people understand, they will do everything in their power to show you the evidence of what the accusations are against them being false, and showing you that they have done something that is understandable from a moral point of view. They won't go straight into, the way that you guys have been treating me is grossly unfair, there, and now I feel really bad. Now that being said, obviously don't tell the bloke to kill himself. He doesn't fucking deserve that. But he's not being sincere here once again. He's just using it as a means to garner sympathy. He's using it as a tool, if that makes sense.
And it's not, it was 5-10 minutes of my life texting somebody that I don't give a fuck about, jeopardizing everything that I have.
The fact that you don't give a fuck about them doesn't make it any... If anything, it makes it worse. You've thrown away your entire life, your life as a father, your life as a husband, for someone that you don't even fucking care about. I'd say, was it worth it? But I think I know the answer. Also, what is with this... This is like some, like, Travis Scott-ass apology. All he needs is the black and white filter and it'll be perfect. And also, the fact that it was 5 or 10 minutes does not make it any better either. It's like, oh, you know what? I thought you were messaging them for half an hour, but now that I know it was only 5 to 10 minutes, you know what, mate? You're good. You're good to go. Officer, leave him be. He's free now. Leave him be, officer. He's free now. Let the man go. Free my mans. As though Wizard Liz is gonna sit there like, all right, guys, you know what? Let's calm it down a bit. It was only 5 to 10 minutes. I thought it was a lot longer than that. There's a lot of things that only take 5 to 10 minutes that are really shitty to do. You could probably kill someone in 5 minutes if you wanted to. Imagine going to court and like working up to the judge and being like, Your Honor, it only took 5 minutes. Like, it's only, are we really gonna punish me for something that it was only 5 minutes of my life. It was a lapse in judgment. Just fucking let it go, man. And they're gonna sit there like, oh, yep, carry on, steady on, pal. You're good to go. Now, if it was 15 minutes, we'd have a whole different issue on our hands.
It's just ridiculous. So, yeah, I deserve the hate, and there's not a single person on this fucking planet that is more disappointed or upset. So I don't expect you guys to understand, but I hope you take into consideration that you can make a mistake and get better. And this isn't just a mistake, right? Like, this is breaking trust, but I realized what I did was wrong. And it's never going to happen again. Doesn't mean it's okay, but...
On a real, I do hope that's true. I hope that he doesn't cheat again. Who knows if it is true, but I fucking hope it's true, to be fair. Like, I'm not going to take that away from him. Hopefully he does learn from this and become a better person. I also don't like when people say there is no one more disappointed than I am right now from the really shit move that I have done. Because it's very difficult to distinguish whether or not they're actually disappointed in themselves, or if they're upset because of the massive amounts of hate being directed towards them. A lot of it very justifiably so. And there is a lot of like really generic influencer narcissism when you look at this guy. Who knows if he was really disappointed in himself, because like, once again, we don't know if he's done this before.
Very final thing. Look, I fucked up huge. I'm not a perfect person. I made a mistake. A huge mistake.
I hate when people say that as well. He's doing everything that I fucking hate right now. It's just so manipulative to be like, I'm not a perfect person, I cheat on people. As if to imply that the only people on the fucking planet who are incapable of cheating are perfect individuals. Godly, sublime beings who are incapable of any wrongdoing. You need to be the fucking prophet. You need to be Jesus goddamn Christ to not cheat on people. Newsflash, buddy. Nobody on the planet is a perfect person, but most people, despite that, don't cheat on their significant others. You didn't need to tell us that you weren't a perfect person. I didn't rock into this video thinking that you were perfect.
Although that's the case, like, I genuinely am curious if you guys believe that people can make mistakes and get better. And I genuinely pray that in the event...
What is that, like, rustling? Is he eating from like, a packet of peanuts in this video or something?
Able to clearly demonstrate that this is not who I am, this is not who I want to be, this is not who I will be moving forward. For the sake of my family and Liz, most importantly Liz, that if I am able to earn her trust back and earn her respect back, that you do not evil eye the shit out of her or my family. You can hate me, this is a big mistake, redeemable or not, all I ask is that you give me enough grace, or if that's what's supposed to happen here.
Yeah, he's definitely eating like some sort of peanuts or crisps or something in this video. Maybe it's his comfort food, who fucking knows. But either way, yeah, there's the evil eye comment where he's like, do not look at Liz in a bad manner. Bro, I don't know what he thinks public perception is, but no one is really against, obviously some people are criticizing how Liz is going about it, but most of the hatred is directed towards you, and most people are also rather pleased that she is putting you on blast in the way that she is. Because, to be frank with you, mate, you do kind of deserve it. Yeah, look, you lost your wife and child over someone you don't give a flip about. Congratulations. I mean, that sums it all up pretty succinctly, to be honest with you. These comments are a lot more supportive of Liz, which is funny, because we're still on the snark page, so it looks as though they've come around a little bit. That says a lot, actually. The fact that even Wizard Liz's biggest haters have turned against Landon and are on her side now. Anyway, the guy released a sequel to this apology, the sequel that we've all been asking for, because why the fuck not? The first one did so well, so, I mean, it was almost inevitable.
I'm not going to come on here and ask for your forgiveness. I'm just going to come on here and ask for understanding. Because I made a mistake, but that doesn't mean that I don't love Liz. I love her with my entire heart, and we have a baby on the way. And over the last 10 months, I have done everything I can to give this person all that I can and to make her happy and do all of this. And regardless of how much I care, I made a mistake. And in the middle of texting somebody I should not be texting in this moment of fucking weakness, like seeking validation, and it's just a bad behavior that I can't believe I did it. But in the moment that I was doing it, I messaged that person that I was sorry and that it was wrong. And I prayed to God that night for strength and clarity to never do that again. That is not who I want to be. It is not what I had.
I prayed to God that I never do it again. Just don't do it again. Well, you don't need God to help you. I think God has some bigger fucking fish to fry at the minute, to be honest with you, pal. He's not sat there being like, look, got Israel, Palestine, you got Russia, Ukraine. Oh, Landon wants help to not cheat on his wife again. Let me help him out. Let me direct all of my attention towards this little fucking specky twinky boy. Let me direct all my attention towards this wee twink and help him not cheat on the mother of his kid. That should just be something you don't do, man. Especially if everything is true and you do love Liz as much as you're saying, and you are putting all this effort in, and you care about your family this much, that should be all the more reason why this never should have happened. And also, it's just so much less believable that you actually give a shit about Liz because you messaged them first. They didn't come to you and you were like, oh, I feel really validated right now. Let me continue this sort of conversation that I know I shouldn't be doing. You approached them and they were actively telling you, you shouldn't be messaging me. What the fuck are you doing? There's just so many levels on which this is so difficult to understand and just wrong, man. He might be one of the most pathetic people that we've covered on this channel.
Stronger than this. I thought I was smarter than this. And I let something build up inside of me that I indulged in. And it is weak and it is despicable.
Call him despicable the way that his dick grew when he messaged his wife's fan on Snapchat. This guy is a fucking minion to his lust.
I'm taking accountability regardless. This is not something that I want to promote or make seem like I identify with. This is not who I want to be, and I'm sorry. I don't know how I could be such a fucking idiot at times. Like throughout my life, there are times where I just do things that I know I shouldn't. And I learn, but I shouldn't have to learn this way. So
this scrub, he's such a scrub and he's so boring. Like in his videos he's boring, in Liz's videos he's boring, even in his apology videos where he's begging for his fucking career back, he's still a boring individual.
I love Liz more than I could even put words to, and I've shown her this, and I've tried my best to make her feel safe and happy and protected, and while yes, I made this mistake, I want to be a great man, and I'm not there yet.
No, yeah, no shit. No, I'm done with this video, by the way. I'm not watching the rest of this. I can't be fucking bothered. Like, he just keeps going around in circles, and he's so boring, and everything he says is a bunch of bollocks, and he's talking about how he wants to be perceived. Like, you can't just say these things about how much you love her, and how you want to be perceived as a great man, and you want to do this and that, because it's the age-old saying, actions speak louder than words, and you cannot be any of the things that you say you want to be when you have just cheated on the wife of your kid who's 4 months fucking pregnant. Someone sent him a message, I guess, saying it wasn't a mistake like ordering the wrong food, forgetting something. No, you intentionally created an account to text another woman whilst having a fiance at home who loved you so much and is carrying your child, and you go out there telling them that the relationship is fake. You don't want to be this person, but that is exactly who you are, which I think is the most true part of it. You don't want to be this person, but that is exactly who you are. That sums it up pretty well, to be fair. He said that I didn't create an account to message someone. I opened the app that I've had for years and messaged someone from the past. Weak and not okay. Why did you even respond to this on a fucking story? Because it doesn't make you look any better. No one thought you made a different account other than this one person. I don't think that was like a big part of the story that you had to debunk. Because right now it seems as though like, oh, guys, it's okay. I didn't make a separate account to cheat on my wife. I did it on my main account. So everyone knew that I was a big famous YouTuber and I could use it to like leverage power and get more of a chance to say yes, I guess. Our marriage is not technically legal, but she is my wife, so it is fake in some way, but real in every other. Fuck, he's doubling down. He's literally doubling down. Everything you've just said about wanting to be a better man, and you're sat there doubling down. So you've already gone back on it. The prayers that you've been praying to God clearly aren't fucking working, mate. Even Jesus can't save you. He also posted this very strange, ominous story of him and Liz together after the breakup and after his cheating was already announced. I don't know what he was planning to get from this. Is this like some form of emotional manipulation, like showing to millions of people, Liz, look how happy we were. You don't want our kid to have, we need to get the band back together because look how happy and nice it was. Real quick, there came a lot of reactions with this, obviously, because it was huge. I want to address one very popular thing that's being said a lot of the time. Finding out the wizard Liz got cheated on just proves no matter how educated or self-assured or beautiful you are, at the end of the day, lustful men will do what they want. Now that is facts, and I very much agree with this statement here, and I think that this is more what people should be parroting in regards to the whole cheating, but it's not what a lot of people have been saying. So there are a lot of comments like this one, for example. What is wrong with the male species? Like, how can you just cheat on wizard Liz like that? What more do these men want? She's smart, amazing, intelligent, career-focused, not to mention insanely beautiful, also 4 months pregnant. Like, what the fuck more does they want? It's freaking insane. I'm literally in shock. Like, why? Well, you get the idea, right? She's a baddie, but still, like, why? It's so irritating at this point. You get the idea. A lot of people saying shit like, how could you ever cheat on someone who's so beautiful and so amazing? And I feel as though that isn't exactly the most healthy I guess, rhetoric to be spreading, because it almost implies that if you do get cheated on, it's because you weren't independent or amazing or intelligent enough, when realistically, it's a lot more like the TikTok that we just looked at, where it doesn't really matter how beautiful or amazing you are. If someone's gonna cheat, they're gonna fucking cheat. Like, it's not your fault if someone cheats, in, I would say, 99% of cases. Obviously, there are some freak instances where cheating can be justified, like, I don't know, if you're being fucking abused or something, and you're too scared to leave the relationship and you find solace in somebody else, then in a case like that, there is a lot more potential justification for cheating, so and so. Or, I don't know, if you've ever seen Breaking Bad, for example, when Skylar, spoilers, when Skylar cheats on Walter, that is like a justified cheating, in my opinion. Obviously, the fan base thinks different because Breaking Bad fans, a lot of the time, don't understand media literacy and think it was a fucking Sigma show. But for anyone with a fucking brain, Skylar's cheating is kind of justified. But yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about this topic, so if you agree or disagree with anything that I've said, be sure to leave it in the comments, tell me how you feel, because I am genuinely interested in what you have to say. Other than that though, business as usual really. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and yeah, fuck yeah.